Section 6.6, Entropy. So the term entropy is a little complex, but for the purposes of this class, let's just say that entropy is the measure of the disorder of a system. So how disorderly a system is. Whenever you have energy that can freely move between one object to another, you always go from a state of lesser disorder to a state of greater disorder, and therefore toward a state of greater entropy. Natural systems always tend to more entropy over time. The greater the disorder, the higher the entropy. The more amount of stuff that's freely able to move, the more disorder that will be in the system as time progresses. Natural systems always tend to more disorder and thus greater entropy. For example, molecules inside of a car's exhaust. You can't spontaneously take the things that come out of your exhaust and recombine them into gas. The gas molecule is a particular thing. It is then broken down and used to move the pistons in your engine, and then it is expelled through your gas tank as carbon dioxide and other gases, and you generate some water in the process as well. You can't take all that stuff, collect it after you're done, and put it all back together into gas. Another good example is when you open up your oven. All the warm air from your oven rushes out into the room, and there's no way to recollect all of the warm air and put it back into the oven because it's now mixed with all of the cool air. And another example that I like to show my classes is if you take a glass of water and you put a couple drops of food coloring in it, then the food coloring over time will extend throughout all of the water. It starts off as a few little drops, but if you let it just sit there over time, the water will turn entirely that color. You could no longer go and pick out where the food coloring was because it has spread through the entire system and increased the disorder. Now, in general, living things can reverse the process. Over time, your house gets dirty and you clean it. But in natural systems, where there are not living organisms involved, systems always tend to more disorder. In order to put things back, you have to use energy. Even if it's just us cleaning, we use energy to pick things up and we put things back where they belong. And so you use energy to decrease the entropy of a system.